You've been serving everyone, yet being served the least. Not anymore. Welcome, everybody. We're talking about recommitting to the life you deserve. Let me tell you how I got here. Now, you've been listening to the past episodes, been talking a lot about men and my experiences. And I got to tell you something. The emotional journey that I've been on while being abroad has been something else, something that I did not anticipate. Of course, with my therapy, the last 3 years of therapy, I thought, hey, I got this. The last thing my therapist told me before we ended our last session is two people sharing a life together. Because I couldn't use her because, therapy doesn't stretch outside of your state. And so I was scared to go at it alone. And so she reassured me that that is what the purpose is, to share a life together. So I said, okay, hey, I got this. And from the very beginning, in episode 2, I walk you guys on a journey with a man named It has been quite a journey. It's been a few months. But what I can say and what I want to talk about, this episode is not about him. Now, I'm going to talk about him because through dealing with him came into some real self-awareness about myself, and a lot of it being toxic. But what I want to say is, although the toll has just been so much on me. I mean, to the point where I went back to my old ways of just not feeling confident and playing small, operating in high functioning anxiety, like all the things. It gave me clarity on why this is happening. So again, in my therapy, I'm thinking, hey, I've done well 3 years. And this unlocked another layer. So as dramatic or traumatic as dealing with him has been for me, and knowing that everything is on purpose, I see why it happened. And I sit here today being very grateful. And so it's been about a little over a month since I recorded the last few episodes from Accra. And so I've been here longer. And the last update was, again, me realizing some bad patterns, knowing that they're not great. And you can hear from my tone, talking myself through it through some accountability. Let me go ahead and just talk about myself first so that the world doesn't have to say anything. When I listened back to the episode, that's what I got from it. And then I had an aha moment of, wow, I was really, really operating in ego because the time from the last time I recorded the last 3 episodes to today, I have went through a lot emotionally with ending my time with this man. I mean, so much so to the point where when we say, if you get so stressed out, right, so anxious, so depressed, for a woman like me, it impacts my physical health. And like the whole month of, May, I'm just sick. My stomach is paining me. I'm curled up. I have to have all these other men helping me, but I can't tell them why. It was so bad because I didn't even realize it till I saw a Facebook post or Instagram post that talked about stomach pains and how it has to do with anxiety. At that time, I was also reading the book Attached, which talked about different attachment style. And for me, my attachment style is an anxious attachment. So I have a lot of anxiety. And so when I put all of these things together, as I was ending my time with this man, because it obviously ended tumultuously for this to be the impact on my physical health, I realized, what the hell is going on? I mean, that's exactly what I was. I've lost control. I don't know which way is where, right? Getting to Ghana was tough. Existing in Ghana the first month was tough. Dealing with my dad was tough. And now physically, this is tough. And so it was one day I woke up and I reflected on the Audible that I've been working on since I left the States in December, which you'll get to hear that. And that's even more of an emotional journey of what actually happened inside. I mean, when I reflected back on my journals, I said, Toya, you're doing a great job in your transformation. You're definitely better than you were yesterday. But if I can be honest, when I listen back to my Audible that I've been creating, I sound incredibly desperate. Desperate to be seen, to be valued, to be heard, to be respected, to be regarded, to feel validated, confident, secure. In my desperation, that's what I was in search of. And so when I reflected back, there was so much shame that I contemplated not premiering or not doing anything with all the Audibles that I've created for fear of people really just judging me and saying, look at you teaching this work and look how you're acting behind the scenes. Or the shame that I felt when this man shamed me or attempted to shame me on that tumultuous day. I was just like, what is all of this is about? What's going on? What is this pattern that I keep letting myself get to this kind of hurt and heartbreak? And then I have to pick myself back up. And then I texted so many friends, right? This is also when you are operating in insecure attachment. Texted my friends, showed them the text that I sent, just the foolery, all of it. The second I sent the last text, I immediately was like, what am I doing? What's going on? Toya, you are not in control. You need to get control. At this point, this is a lot. And you need to choose you. And so I called my muse. I call her my muse. But she's out of all the women that I've coached so far, she's been ideal and like a perfect person for me. I'm so glad she's entered my life. And so in my early stages of my business and all the time, we help each other. It's a reciprocal relationship. We're all growing. We're all one step away from changing our life and moving towards freedom. But there was one thing that I needed to add on to what I just said, because through this podcast, you've heard me say that consistently. I'm consistent. One thing I realized after she sent me some resources was, and it's crazy I'm about to say this because I teach this, but again, sometimes we lack the awareness when we just don't want to get out of our own way, right? I'm not saying that any way that I behaved wasn't a choice. It was a bad choice. And what I learned from the resources she gave me and the emergency call to action, cry for help that I needed was, and before I say it, right, because I'm kind of building it up a little bit because it's the one thing that changed everything. So it's huge, y'all. I was going to buy one of the resources, pay for the community because I believe in community. But I still said, let me hold off because what they were specifically talking about or how it would specifically be supported, it didn't feel like spot on. It was in the realm of what I felt like I needed to do the next level work. but it just didn't feel as right. The price wasn't a problem. It was something about it that made me hesitant. And I said, I'll just continue to look at these people's Instagram pages anyway. They're new followers. So I'll engage and I'll just look at the content from there and then see if I want to go further. And then one day I'm looking at my feed and one of the women, it scrolls past on the feed. And she talked about, and this is it. She talked about recommitting to the life I deserve. Recommitting to the life I always deserved. And then when I saw her post, it was a video. It was like one of those soft, ooh, put your arms together, cuddly ones. But speak it directly to me. I went in tears because I said, this is the journey of healing that I need to go on. I actually need to recommit to the life I always deserve, but it starts with me. Can no man do that? Can no other person do that? No one can do that. And I think just by really calling a thing, right? You must decide. Being self-aware, being accountable. I was able to see it for what it was. And it was a lot. It was painful. This was the beginning of June, the journey of healing. I can tell it still hurts because I'm crying. And we're not in June anymore. So, recommitting to the life I always deserved was now the mission. Get the freedom, fulfill my passion, hold myself in high regard, self-love, or recommit to the life I always deserve. Wow, that's something else. And so thank you, Jillian Turecki. Thank you, Kayla Patterson. And for all the other therapists out here that gently walk us into truth and accountability, self-awareness and honesty. And at the end of the day, say we're still worthy. So that is the journey that I'm on right now. That's literally the work that I'm doing. The call to action, recommitting to the life I deserve. I'm not going to tell you what the tumultuous situation was that happened between me and this man, because yes, I'm not represented well. He's not represented well. I can say that, well, he flagged me down in an Uber and he's, the police. So we had to pull over. And so, he saw me. And I say that saying that I also was around where he worked. So I knew he would probably see me. So again, being accountable for the behavior and the pattern and just the insecurity and everything that was happening. I can't say that without saying the other part. Please give me the grace that I'm so much working on right now. I know I deserve. I'm also calling out my needs. And so, how am I doing today? Let's just, I'm doing the best that I can. And my best isn't trash. I've been meditating. I had to switch my meditations. The one that I was doing for a couple of years, and it's amazing. It's really focused on just mindset and business and just staying focused, outcome focused. But I needed to go deeper. I needed meditations around self-love, self-respect, worthiness, things like that. Self. No longer am I even thinking about the other. I am just thinking about recommitting and what that looks like for me. And what recommitting looks like, what is that? It's the, truly speaking up for myself and saying my needs. If I have higher standards, if I want to operate in higher standards, I operate in higher standards. And so these are just some of the examples of what I've really been doing so that I'm also not around behavior that I exist in as well. So I'm not at that low worthiness and I'm not finding people at the same level, because I'm certainly not thinking that this man was so much more that he came and ruined me. No, I was down there in the gutter somewhere. So I'm picking myself up, and those are the practices and ways in which I do it. So how am I doing today? It's been over a month and I've lost 10 pounds. My business, I've been working really hard, got my first 12,000 views for a reel that I created. I have people in my DMs, I have people in my comments engaging in the business and wanting to, and liking the content that's coming from me. I really appreciate that. I also just recommitting to myself that I'm not really interested in dating. This is a personal journey right now. Again, I do personal development and I need personal work. So I'm not interested in anyone. But of course, it's very hard to dodge the men. I am attractive. I feel like I'm the prettiest I've ever looked, and they are definitely noticing. So in wanting to just continue to see Ghana, I've been going out on dates, and it's actually been really great because in raising my standards, I've been picked up in BMWs. I've traveled to different villages outside of Accra, I just all the things I can name more. I'm so grateful. So, and again, I continue to dedicate myself on getting, meeting the women and fostering a relationship there. And all of them have been amazing, from the ones who are American to the ones who are local. I just really appreciate them. That's the one thing that, like, among many things, still loving Ghana and what it does have to offer is one thing that I'll definitely take with me is the people. Overall, they're very nice. They're very sweet. I love the women. They're really great, just down to earth, just good women here. So that's how I'm doing. I'm also in the campaign right now, hoping to get my first founders cohort group, but not hoping, knowing that it's going to happen. I mean, this business is so purposeful, working with intention. I know what it's going to do. And so I'm working really hard to create a really easy customer journey for people who are interested in personal freedom as well. And I'm currently talking about personal setbacks and challenges. And so I will be honest to say that I had a bit of a setback and challenge a few days ago. And probably 5 days out, I'm feeling better. But 1 day, 2 days in, I was back in that place, in that state. But every day I'm better, certainly better than I was yesterday. And I'm thankful for just, the God that I serve, and just God being a God of another chance, right? Not second, next, it's another, always another. And knowing that it's another allows you to have the grace on yourself, to not be so hard on yourself. Because I suffer from being hard on myself, and the impact is on my physical health. So they said, how am I doing today? I read the book, The Power of Now. So a lot of times I pause to think, how am I currently feeling right now? Currently right now, I feel really, really, I'm happy. I'm grateful. In the midst of all of my challenges, God sits on the throne and he says, I'm so worthy to live this kind of life. I've been in like 4 countries. I've been able to sit here and work on my business, work on myself. I'm still helping people. I'm challenging myself, getting uncomfortable. I'm just excited. I'm just getting started. And it's just a really nice feeling. And so I'm doing fine. That's what's happening today. Recommitting to the life you deserve is all about you versus you, your personal job, knowing you are worthy, revolutionizing yourself, your relationship to yourself, and transforming your life. And along with building your business, we as women, we want love too. We really do. We want romance. I was just in a Buzia, Ghana, which is a village 6 hours out. It was a beautiful place. It's home. It's home here for me in Ghana. I'm sold on it. But what I got from the people is that, it's love. You can have love you deserve, because this is a place where, in my opinion, it has a lot of poly views. It's a lot of like, let's share in relationship, and hey, to each his own. I just know what the vision I have set out for myself. But I do also know that the women are here and they haven't ventured off to other places. They don't have the privilege to do that. And so this is all they know. And so one thing that I could tell that I shook the village is me telling them that they can have love and romance. You know, when they found out my age in the village, immediately, where's your wife? I mean, where's your husband? Where do you have kids? Who takes care of you? You know? And I get that they want me to be taken care of. But I'm recommitting to what I deserve. And that's not in line with what I want holistically, the whole of it. Yes, those things are there, but there's so much in between. And it's love and it's romance. And I told them that, and they said, well, you know, the man, he's going to cheat. He's going to do his thing. That's what they do. And I said, I hear you. But there are some men, that's not their thing. That's not what they do. They don't lie. They don't have to lie. I met men here. They're not lying. Yes, I don't like the lifestyle, but they're not lying to me about it. They're not deceiving me. Right? And so I told them, because my opinion here is, and this is my opinion, you either going to be the wife with the stability and the security and the prestige, or you're going to be the mistress or the second girlfriend or the wife, the second wife, and you're going to get the romance, you're going to get the love, and you're going to get the traveling. Look, I got one man want to take me to Italy. I told you one just took me to a village, you know, and so many more who wanted to do so many more things. But I like the love. I like the romance. That's exactly how I want to get treated. I want you to be emotionally available, but I want the security. I want the covenant. I want it under God, right? I have not done any of this without God. So I don't want to, that's not my pathway to freedom, not my pathway to success. And so, and it's a pretty religious country, may I add. So when I think about all of that, I think about what was shaking it up for me. It was just the entire thing. And so even though this one man broke my heart, shook the whole space for me in the last few months, what I realized is he was just operating in what his culture does. Granted, he's a little bit more trifling for sure, but I can't judge him. And in one of the moments of us ending tumultuously, I just wanted to be accountable and say, you know, I didn't mean to behave in certain ways. But I realized God didn't let that happen because he was trifling. And there's a reason for the season. But the work that I need to do, it was my personal work to recommit to the life I deserve and not rely on any man and not that man to do it. And so in that, and if I could say that to him, I would. And I would just thank him for allowing me to get so uncomfortable, but also still have such an opportunity to recommit that I hate the way it ended, but I'm not upset. I don't hate you. That's how I'm doing today, y'all. Okay. It's been a lot. This was a big one for me. You know, I do coaching right now. You can click on patentleatherproject.com/rediscover if you want personal coaching. I help millennial women build their businesses while overcoming life difficulties, so you can fulfill your passions, get your freedom, do what you want to do, recommit to the life you've always deserved. If you're interested in coaching, go to the website. You can email me at info@patentleatherproject.com, info@patentleatherproject.com. Let me know you're ready to move towards freedom as well. I've been where you want to go. I know the emotional toll. I'm here to help. I really want to help. I'm also going to get in the consulting game. I'm doing that, and it's just been great. My workshops, I really like them. I think that they're just transformational, holistic. It's been a dream of mine ever since I was in college, you guys, to do this kind of work. So when I took my courses, and I took, curriculum design and leadership and all that stuff is because I knew I would be doing this today. So as I create these workshops, it's with all of that in mind since I was 19 years old. And it's an honor to serve. If you are a business owner, you have an organization, a company, and you are looking to have the people in your on your team and in your company be motivated, be empowered to know that they can recommit to the life that they deserve while also holding true to the values of the company that they work in, hit me up. info@patentleatherproject.com, info@patentleatherproject.com. And like I told you guys with media, you guys have heard some radio shows. I have been speaking just a little bit here and there. But that's going to be a big part of what I'm doing because God said that I will speak all around the world. I won't use my hands. I will use my mouth, tell my story, and make lots of money. I wrote it down also, so I know it's going to happen. So you want to get me now before the price goes up. I have one hell of a story. I've told it multiple times on this podcast, on my Instagram, social media. At this point, it's there. Go learn about who I am and the journey that I've gone on to get to freedom. Last but not least, I keep leading you to the social media. Go ahead. It's Latoya Deshawn. A lot of the networks, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everything on purpose with Latoya Deshawn. And again, you guys know that I'm a personal makeup artist to high profile talent. That's how I got to where I'm at to help you guys right now. It is the work that I love. I love working with high achievers. They are just so disciplined. They have overcome a lot. They are just people to really be admired. They have mastered their craft. They're great. To look at some of my work, go to my website, www.latoyadeshawn.com, LATOYADESHAUN, LATOYADESHAUN, www.latoyadeshawn.com. Guys, we're almost there. We are almost there. Next episode, I'm talking about the pathway to freedom and my new take on it, okay? Because the thing is layered and is great. And I'm going to tell you what it takes for you to move towards your freedom. I'll see you in the next episode.